People at first glance looked at this matchup and saw Terri Harper, saw the experience, the losses, a lot of wins, and the draw, and maybe thought she had a chance in this matchup. But when I looked immediately at this matchup, I knew who Caroline Dubois is, and I didn't see that much film leading up until my initial breakdown. And we're going to talk about what I saw in my initial breakdown here today in Caroline Dubois, because honestly, bro, after the film I've seen, I think Caroline knocks Terri out in less than 8 rounds. And I also think she might be top 2, if not the best women's boxer right now, especially since she's only 25. The talent, boxing, and skills are there. Well, first I think we should go and look at Terri Harper, right? Because she's not a bad fighter at all. She's a fighter who has a very good high guard, a lot of experience, and has gone against fighters who definitely have had their time in the ring and have had peaks in their careers. I wouldn't say she fought slouches at all. Alicia Baumgartner's on her resume, who she got KO'd in her first loss. But when I see Terri Harper, I see someone who's very good defensively and someone who's very hard to put away. She has great instincts on defense. Even when fighting in the inside, she looks very calm. And her high guard, it really never gets out of place or out of position. And it's a super tight high guard, which is good to have. And that's actually something on the flip side that Caroline actually struggles with. Terri does a good job at keeping her high guard tight. And that also opens up a lot of her offense sometimes too. She's able to catch some punches on the glove and return back with her own. She's also very good at throwing a lot of combos. Over the course of a 10-round fight, you'll see sparks of her throwing combos, but she's not the most high volume type of puncher. In fact, I wouldn't even consider her a high volume type of boxer. For Terri, it takes some time for her to figure out her opponent. Starting round 1, she's going to start off with her jab and just try to get her range going. And I would say over time, as the opponent tries to get away from that jab and throw themselves, Terri then would use her defense, try to alter the range, and come in with a high guard or surprise them on the combo from the outside. Terri isn't a bad boxer at all, bro, honestly. And she's a super defensive fighter. And you could tell she's a fighter who was brought up learning defense first. She's very defensively responsible, and I think that's something I saw the first time I watched her fight. This is why it's important to slow down the game, because doing a little bit of a more deeper dive, watching Terri Harper more and more, I started noticing the leaks in her defense. And Caroline Dubois is someone you don't want to give ring generalship to. In fact, Caroline Dubois is an excellent counterpuncher who is on their toes. If Terri Harper doesn't have the best ring generalship or isn't in parts of the fight where she's comfortable and is causing Caroline to be more uncomfortable than her at certain key parts of the fight, she can potentially win the fight. But I don't see that when she's giving up ring generalship in her previous fights. When the output from Terri Harper gets low, she feels a need to score some points. So of course she's going to get more active, and in doing so she throws some good ass combos, but it's not something that's continuous throughout the round. When she does get in exchanges where she's throwing back and forth with an opponent, sometimes she could get too over aggressive and she can throw too wild and leave herself open. And we've seen it in the past with Sandy Ryan. Like that TKO, or even that whole fight wasn't a good performance for her. And for Sandy Ryan, it was a great performance for her, but we've seen Sandy Ryan lose in the past. That blueprint was out there. Terri Harper fell short that night because her output was low and her defense wasn't that on point. Sandy Ryan literally just walked her down for 7 rounds. And credit to Terri Harper, she's done it at a high level. But we got to get into Caroline Dubois. First thing when I saw Caroline Dubois, she gave me shades of Shakur. And I feel like she gave me shades of Shakur because of the footwork and how she manipulates the range. She does a lot of range touches with the gloves, and from then she's straight counterpunching on the back foot the whole fight. And she's very good at staying on her toes. Like Shakur Stevenson is very good on his toes, and that's what makes him like so good at counterpunching. And I see the same thing with Caroline Dubois. Caroline Dubois is a complete counterpuncher and is very comfortable on the back foot, being that counterpuncher and being the first one to throw too, which is something that you don't see in most counterpunchers. Like even in Gervonta Davis, they really had slow starts, and Caroline Dubois kind of goes out there and gets the ring generalship and gets her flow on and timing early. All in all, when you're talking about Caroline Dubois, you're talking about someone that is a very high-level women's boxer. And right now, in the current state of women's boxing, there's certain fighters that are just at that high level that no one else can touch. And I really, truly think Caroline Dubois is at that level and at an even higher level than that. She has the pressure, she has the footwork, she has the timing. She cuts off the ring well, even if she wants to go on the front foot, but she can stay on the back foot and stay calm. She's comfortable exchanging. She's very confident in herself, and that's what you love to see in a fighter. She's only 25. Like, it's kind of crazy, bro. The only thing that I've seen so far from Caroline Dubois in her early careers that is a flaw to me, or something that she just needs to develop more, is her inside fight game. And that's the game where you're just inside, clinched damn near telephone booth, and you're just inside throwing punches. I think she needs to work on that and just a little bit more on the defense there. There's a lot of hunching over with the high guard, and that's super bad against fighters who could go to the body around when you're hunching, or go with an uppercut, or even double it up and mix both. Oh, and one more thing. She has a very good lead hand. Her lead hand is actually very good. She has very good counters off of the lead hand. I would say if you're a southpaw like myself and you're trying to study lead hand tactics to do against an orthodox fighter, Caroline Dubois is definitely one of those fighters. Check out one of her fights against an orthodox fighter. She does all the right things in fighting someone who is an orthodox fighter, and she'll show you some new tricks that you could even add into your game. She's that nice, I'm telling you. With all this being said, let's get into the final prediction. I got Dubois by KO. I think it's gonna be an absolute one-sided affair. And if Terri Harper feels the need to go out there and try to get a KO, or feels the need that she's like, or not even feels the need, but knows that she's behind in the fight and gets desperate out there, the KO might look ugly. So it could be a one-sided decision, but I think KO. Terri Harper, I think, got some heart. I think is going to try to make it hard on Dubois, and in that, Dubois is just going to show her best fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the breakdown. I would love to hear from you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.